Hey guys, I found a bunch of pictures that I'd forgot I had of vehicles that I used to own. This is one I owned back in the 80s, early 90s. It's a 71 Chevelle Super Sport. It's a real Super Sport. Had bumper guards on it, factory AM FM radio, factory tilt, factory air, factory tack. Seemed like I had some more stuff on it. But I had it professionally restored. And it's gold. I know this picture is hard to tell. It's gold with black stripes. And man, that's a good little old car. But I learned a valuable lesson from this car. Where I worked at, there was a guy on third shift. I was working days, and every day when I come in, he kept wanting me to price this car, and I never would. So I was starting to get kind of tired of it. So I went in one morning. I was a welder back then, and he come up to me again and said, "What do you want for that Chevelle? What do you want for that Chevelle? Just price it." So I priced it to the point that, I thought I would shut him up for good. Well, I thought, well, all is well that ends well. So I got off work that evening and drove home, and him and his dad were sitting in my driveway, and they had the money. So I had to dig out the title and sell it to them because I had priced it. So my lesson I learned from this car is don't price something unless somebody's got the money. It just so happened his dad had the money. So his dad got it for him or helped him to get it. So I've learned a valuable lesson from that. So I miss that car. I don't know where it's at today, but it was a really nice car. And oh well. So now I'm going to show you. I know y'all's probably going to hate me for this, but I had an 86 Mustang coupe, and I like the coupes. So it is a 4-cylinder automatic with air, cruise, everything worked on it. Good little old car. Man, it got real good gas mileage, but this is it. And I wound up painting the hood and the top of it myself, and it looked really good. I'm going to show you some before and after pictures. I'm sorry for this kitchen light. Here's a picture I just showed you. Here's a picture of it when I put 5.0 wheels on it and had dual exhaust run on it, and everybody thought it was a V8. This is the one I've said in some videos a long time ago that I went to AutoZone and to get some parts for something. Anyway, I had people arguing with me that this was a V8 car, and I kept saying, no, it ain't, no, it ain't. So I finally had to go out there and raise a hood and showed them it was just a 4-cylinder. But man, that's a good little old car. I wish I still had it. Oh, here's another picture of it before I done very much to it. And let's see, here it is before I painted the hood and the top. But I mean, I know I like anything that's paid for. So that's just how I am. I'll get this out of the way. Now we got that going, and I'm trying to find some more pictures of stuff, but okay, here's the M62 Impala that I have now. This was years ago, and I had Corvette Rally wheels on it. I've got American Racing torque thrust wheels on it now, and since this picture was made, I've had it lowered just a little bit, and I've had the insides redone. I'm one of those kind of guys, I just have to do little bit. And I've slowly worked on this car because it's one that I never did want to sell. So, dang, there's a picture of me in there. Whew, boy, that just takes away from the car, doesn't it? Y'all just keep looking at the car. Anyway, I still have this car. So I thought I'd show you this. Here's another 62 Impala I had, SS. Of course, it's got Corvette Rallies on it. Back in the day, Corvette Rallies were the wheels to have. So I had them on this. It had a built 283 in it. Man, this little car would really move. So, and it, this was, I hadn't had it long and got, started working on it and, just piddling. I call it piddling, and this is it. I no longer have it either. I sold it in order to get help on the down payment on the house I'm living in. A lot of things, see, that's why I was always hesitant to put money in this, because I could never sell this car. I could never sell it. So, if I put money into something like this, it was because, if I had to sell it, it would bring more. I didn't really want to sell this one either, but the house I'm living in now became available, and I needed as much down payment as I could, so I started selling stuff. So that's what happened to that one, and I've got some more pictures too. This is a 62 Belair wagon. I'm going to try to show you. These pictures are not in order, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you. Here's the front of it after I was pretty much done with it. New emblems. Finally got the grill bar and the hood release. This car, look how solid this thing is. I got this thing from New Mexico. I mean, they took it down to the metal, and it was perfect, perfect. Try to show you some more. I had it painted hot rod black, had it lowered. Of course, I got Corvette rallies on it, the chrome ones. Okay, here's what it was when I first got it. Of course, I had the wheels on it. It didn't have no wheels that would stay up. This was it. And if I had it to do over, I'd have just left it this way, this color, and just put some boiled linseed oil or penetrol on it, but that's it. I'm sorry for these pictures, y'all, but this was way before, cell phones were in existence. So here it is in the back of it. Of course, my wife and I had a surfboard in it. And if you'll notice, right in here on each corner, there's a step up. And that's, oh my goodness, that's really, really rare to have a step up. It's for a third row seat. You can't find them. And I don't know. Okay, I've kind of got out of line, haven't I? There's my 62 Impala Super Sport 4-speed, factory 4-speed car. And, of course, I've got rallies on it with those Cadillac, beauty rings on it. So it looks like a different wheel. I like to change stuff up. But the wagon and this Super Sport were twins. I mean, same color, same grill, everything. So my wife claimed the wagon, and I claimed the Super Sport. So here's another. I'm sorry these pictures are out of order. There's the wagon. And I missed that car. That was a good car. Had a 350 in it, automatic. This Super Sport I had a 327 4-speed. This car would giddy up and go. And I wish I still had it, but things happen, and sometimes you got to sell things you don't really want to sell, which is why, once again, I never put money in that white Impala very much, because sometimes life changes, and you got to do some things that you don't want to do, and same with this wagon I just showed you. I sold both of these. It was around this time that my wife developed breast cancer. And so, as I said, you got to do things sometimes you don't really want to do. So I don't know where this car is at, so, and the wagon, here it is again, I'm sorry. I keep showing the same pictures when I've got a ton more to show you. There it is at the surfboard. Oh, here's a good picture I was wanting to show y'all. That's the Super Sport on the right and the wagon on the left, but you see, they're pretty much twins, and my wife and I was joking around about which one sits lower, and so we just done a comparison. But in reality, they both were lowered and was the same height. But I mean, looking at the fronts, without looking at the sides or anything, they look just like twins. I was real proud of those cars. And the wagon, I kind of knew where it wound up. It wound up in Illinois, I think, in Chicago. And the guy that bought the wagon contacted me. If you know me very well, I always have 59 Impala steering wheels, or I used to on my Impalas and stuff like that. So he called me, wanted to know if I had the original steering wheel for it, and I said I did. And he said, well, I'll mail you the Impala steering wheel if you'll mail me the original steering wheel for it. And I said, okay. Of course, he never did mail it, and that's been years and years ago, so guess he changed his mind or something. I'm sorry I'm showing y'all the same pictures. These are not in order whatsoever. There it is, I guess after it just got sprayed. Trying to go as fast as I can. I get long-winded. But anyway, it's just, you know, the good thing about this is it's a good memory for me. And as I said, I miss the wagon. You know, that's just part of it. I'm trying to show you real quick. My wife put her touches of, I think it's Hula Girls or something on the back window. Here it is. I'm going to speed this up. I know y'all's tired of hearing me talking. Of the wagon, you know, I tried to go over there every couple of days and take pictures best I could. And a lot of times my wife took the pictures because, as you're hearing me now, I like to talk. So I'd be talking to the painter or whatever about what was going on, or if he had a comment to make or something. But he told me this is the most solid car he's ever worked on. Here's my 62 Impala Super Sport, the 4-speed one. You can see the red where the taillights is supposed to be. Let me see if I can find another picture, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. There it is again. Remember that part right there being red? Oh, here's the motor in it, in the Super Sport. It's a 327. I always liked those Cadillac breathers. But, you know, I had the 327 4-speed in it. Man, I wish I still had that car, but you know how it is sometimes. Anyway, I had the Super, let me tell you this is kind of interesting. I had the Super Sport, you know, the swirls that go down through here. But I had a friend of mine, I'm trying to pick up this picture. I had a friend of mine that was working on a 62 Impala in a town close to me, and he told me he just bought all new trim, you know, side trim for it, this stuff here, that long red piece, and asked me if I wanted it, and I said, well, yeah. So, as I said, I had the original SS swirls that goes on the side of the car, but when I stuck that up there, that red just popped on that hot rod black. So I wound up putting it on, and you know, these cars are so old now, most people don't know anyway, but that was a real Super Sport, and man, that was a rare find. Anyway, here it is. I was going to tell you this too. I've got this was the bumper guards on the back. Back in the day, I mean, they would come with one bumper guard and it'd be right here. But a lot of people would put 2 of them on each side. And this is something else I was going to show you. These are 61 Impala taillight lens. They fit right in a 62 taillight bezel. So I swapped them out. I like the 61s a little better. For one thing, you don't have to drill holes or anything to alter it. You know, in 10 minutes, you can have them all swapped back out. But I just like the 61s because they were pointed on the ends. And I just like that better as opposed to the 62 taillight lens being kind of flat on the ends. But that's the reverse lights and the tail lights for a 61 Impala, and I'll put them on there. I was trying to be unique. Here it is again. And I had the dual antennas on the back, like they run them back in the day. And, of course, the gas door guard. And, man, that's a good-looking car. And I wound up putting torque thrust wheels on it, so it matched my white Impala Super Sport. The wagon, I took to I'm just, memory's starting to come to me a little bit. The wagon, I sold it in Pigeon Forge at one of the rod runs. And this one got bought by an individual that come by the house. And I forgot how I had it listed for sale, but I did. There it is again, just after I got it painted. I'm going to try to hurry this up. I don't know if y'all would recognize this guy or not, but you might recognize the car. That's the car from the American Graffiti movie, and that is Bo Hopkins from the American Graffiti movie. He was driving the 49 or 50 Mercury. If you've ever watched that movie, that's him. I got a picture of him, and I think I got his autograph somewhere, but who knows where it's at, but at least I got the picture. Okay, I've already showed you these pictures. I'll set these aside, and then I'll get to these, and then we'll be done if you'll just hang in there with me for just a minute. This is my truck, my 57 GMC that I call Mater. I bought this truck this is it. Of course, by then I'd already changed the wheels on it because the tires, it'd been setting in a field, and it was a one-owner truck. The man that bought it new in 57 passed away, and in the back of the bed, he had left a bag of fertilizer in it. I don't know how he died. I guess he died in his sleep. I don't really know. But the bag of fertilizer he had bought, he left in the bed of the truck. Well, the fertilizer got wet, and it ate through the bed, and it ate through the frame. Of course, when I bought the truck, I didn't know that. So anyway, the motor was stuck, and it had a 270 six-cylinder motor in it, a regular GMC motor. GMC at that time was supposed to be a step up from a regular Chevrolet truck. Boy, I was tickled to death to get this truck, and the motor ran great. We got it unstuck, and it ran great. Didn't use a drop of oil or nothing. And the people that had this truck, after the man that had bought it new passed away, all his children went out there to see if anybody wanted the truck. And as soon as they seen it, they'd turn around and walk away. Nobody wanted the truck, the GMC. So they was fixing to push it off into a ditch, to fill up a ditch. So my buddy that I bought the truck from got there before they pushed it off in the ditch, and he bought it along with a 49 Chevy truck. And I would have bought the 49 Chevy truck too, but by the time I got to his house, the 49 Chevy truck had already been bought. So I wound up buying this 57 GMC. There's another picture of it. And this right in here is where the frame was broke. And I didn't know it up until we got it on a car hauler. And I realized the truck was about to break in two. So just remember this picture. I'll try to set it aside. Here's the front of it when I got it. So I'll remember that there too. Here's the insides of it. And I like a GMC dash really well because it's got round gauges. You can put aftermarket round gauges in there a whole lot cheaper than you can a Chevrolet pickup truck, because the Chevrolet kind of has that V, dash, like a 55, 56 Chevy car. But on these, of course, I never changed the dash or the, instruments or nothing in it. I just left it as is. But, you can go buy, aftermarket gauges and put in here without having to do any cutting or anything. So if you want to put it back original at any time, you can. So anyway, there's the insides. Here it is again. Of course, the bumper had already broke off. It was a clunk truck. And here's my friend and I swapping the bed out on it. And we put this bed, let me try to show you that there it is again. Putting this bed on. I'm going to try to show you, where in the world did those pictures go? Oh, there's a picture of my 62 Impala before, the 4-speed car, 327 4-speed. I know I've told y'all in some videos it took 3 or 4 cars to make this one. The trunk was red, the door was blue, the hood was gold. It just took a bunch of 62s to make this one. Boy, I wish I had it back, but that's the way love goes, isn't it? Anyway, I got more. There's the wagon again. I'm sorry, I thought I had these in order, and I apologize. That's my fault. Had to get another tailgate because the one on it was rusty, but this one was perfect. That was the most solid car. And there's my Super Sport again. I've got out of whack, and I apologize. Okay, here's my truck we call Mater. Here's a tag I run on the front of it. And it's kind of interesting how I got this tag, made in Detroit by idiots. I still have that tag. And I tried to buy that tag from this guy in a few towns from me. He had it on a 49 Chrysler. Boy, I wanted that tag. I think I offered him $100 for that tag, and he wouldn't take it because I wanted it that bad to put on Mater. But I wound up getting it for $20 because the guy took the 49 Chrysler, up to the rod run and sold it, and the guy was driving the car, turning the car, and with the steering wheel, of course, and something broke on the front end. He couldn't turn the car. I said, what do you want for this tag? And he said, give me $20. Said that's, he was mad because the car wouldn't work. So I flopped out $20 real quick and got the tag. Here it is on the front of Mater. And I've got those hood rockets on it. Those hood rockets that's the factory hood rockets. And if you can find them, you better grab them because on eBay, they're like $1,000 to $1,200. I got all this mustache stuff. This is what I'm calling the mustache. That piece of chrome. I got it from California, and it wasn't perfect, but it was much, much better than what I had, along with the bumperettes. That's those things right here. Anyway, I got all those. I paid a lot of money for them, but they were so much better than what I had on here. See what I had? They were just all rusty and wouldn't clean up or nothing, so I got these. Boy, it really brightened the whole front end up. And I'm going to show you some more pictures. Here it is. I wound up putting I put Corvette rallies on it with white wall tires. And it's a 6-cylinder. And I always put duals on everything I got. So it had dual exhaust. And of course it had the hood rockets, and I got the windshield visor on it. Man, I love that truck. That truck I drove everywhere. Everywhere. It never failed me. Always started, always run like a champ. I would drive this truck to California back when I had it. I mean, it was that dependable. And even the vehicles I had that were much newer, I could show this truck, I'm just exaggerating a little, but I could show this truck the key and it would start up. It was like I don't know, it was like it loved me and I loved it. So anyway, I'm getting carried away and you're finding out a little bit more about me. Here it is after I got it back home from having the bed put on. Oh, here's the pictures I was wanting to show you. My buddy that had a welder, we swapped beds on it. He cut the frame in half and then welded it with a plate over it and then a diamond on the back, the inside of the frame. So my wife just took a picture of this part. And so this truck is good to go. It's as good as new as far as the frame. Of course, here I am again with that 59 Impala steering wheel. And I stuck an old fake tack on there where it looked like I had a V8. But, man, I sure did love that truck. You talk about a good truck. Now, I don't know if it's still a good truck or not, but man, that was a dandy truck. That's before I got my hood ornaments on it. I'm trying to show you. Here it is. Oh my goodness, about dropped a bunch of pictures. This is what I had put on the side of the door. Spot and Steel, I know it's hard to see. Spot and Steel Auto Parts. I Spot and he Steel's owners. 24-hour service since 1957. Phone BR518. I had one of my friends that's real good with writing put that on, and it's still on the truck. On the back here, here it is again. I'm sorry for these pictures, but just bear with me. On the side, right up through here on top of near the top of the rear fenders, it said, in real fancy writing, said, "We do most of our work at night," like I was a thief. So, which, I spot and he steals, so my wife was I spot and I was he steals. So it was lots and lots of fun with this truck. I had lots of fun, and I had people tell me at cruisings and stuff for me not to park next to them because they would spend all this money on 55, 56, 57 Chevy cars, have $25,000, $30,000 in them. And I could drive up in this old truck, this old truck, and people would just flock to this truck and wouldn't even look at their cars. So they would ask me to park away from them, which I don't know, there was something about this truck. It's just got an appeal to it that everybody liked, including me. Let's see. Anyway, I thought I'd show you these pictures. I got long-winded. This is going on much longer than I anticipated. But anyway, you're probably asking yourself, why did I sell this truck? I ask myself that nearly every other day. I cried for 3 days after I sold this truck. But, sometimes you got to do things you got to do that you don't want to do. And I've learned that lesson in life. And just be able to own something like this, or my 62 wagons, or my El Caminos, or my 62, 4-speed Impala, yeah, they were all great cars. And, I'd probably give a tooth or two to get them back, but I can't have them back. So at least I have the memories and the pictures and being able to say I owned these vehicles. So anyway, why I sold the truck. I was getting close to retirement age, and so I was wanting to make sure that I had everything that I could possibly pay for paid for. So I sold it and a bunch of other vehicles to get everything that I could paid off, because I didn't know how retirement was going to go. Being on making much less income than what I was accustomed to making. But my job was kind of killing me. It's killing my back, my shoulders, my knees, my feet. It was just killing me. So anyway, that's why I sold it, if you're wanting to know. And I still miss that truck to this day, but hopefully it's in good hands. And I can honestly say I owned it. So, and the super sport Impala, the wagon, all these cars that I've had in my life, I've been really, really blessed beyond measure. I can't believe it's me sometimes. So anyway, that's why I sold them. But I've always kept that white Impala. I've always kept it, and can't get rid of it. So, I still have it. I always put money in other things, and that's why I was so hesitant to put money in this. So it's took me all these years, because I never did make much money to begin with, in order to make sure I hung on to this car. And I still got it to this day. So anyway, thought I'd show you these pictures. I got a bunch more pictures of cars and trucks I've owned, but I got to tell you, Mater, and this old 4-speed Impala Super Sport. Well, the El Camino I had too. I wish I could show you it. It was a factory black on black, factory bucket seat console car with a factory big block in it. Had a 396, but I put a 427 in it. You could eat off of it. Inside, out, underneath, it was perfect. So anyway, that's another car, but I don't know why these old cars like this and Mater are one of my favorites. So anyway, that's enough of that. I've talked long enough. My goodness, I'm sorry I've kept y'all so long, but anyway, I miss these old vehicles. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you've had some that you have worked on before and sold and wish that you had not, I sure do wish you'd check me out on Instagram, Primer is Best, all one word. Send me some pictures. let me know I'm not the only one that's regretted selling something, because it hurts to the bone. It cut my heart deep. And I cried for 3 days after selling this truck. I could just walk around and just start crying, thinking, what have I done? But, life goes on, and, there was more lost in the flood. So, anyway, y'all have a great day. I'm on Facebook, Primate is Best. Instagram, give me a thumbs up. And let me know you watched the video. Please subscribe if you would. That would mean a whole lot to me. And I'm just trying to make a video on a rainy day. And I guess I'll catch y'all in the next one. Hey, don't forget, please check out my buddy, GM Tim 38. GM, then there's a little, space, then Tim 38. Tim and 38's together. He's working on a lot of cars and trucks too, and he's building a garage right now, so as soon as he gets that done, we'll be making lots and lots and lots of videos over there. So check him out. He's good to know. He's who I get to work on my cars and trucks a lot of times. Him or Tim Dixon at Gas Axe Chop Shop. He's on Facebook too. Check him out. Hey, y'all have a great day. Thanks for listening to my rambling on, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'll see you later.